Hello everyone! My last art supply haul was so long ago that I don't even remember when it was. Anyway, I collected few new things I want to share with you today. So no more talking and let's begin! Let's start with the least interesting thing, at least in my opinion, which is my new tablecloth. It's plastic and I want to use it mainly for painting. When I paint, I always do a huge mess around me and I already damaged one of my table mats, so this should protect my table and the nice table mat just enough. And you wouldn't believe, but it's really large. So I already cut a piece which will fit to my table. I hope that it will last me forever. Also, I love the cats on this tablecloth. That's also why I chose this one, because it's really cute. As next, I also got some new calligraphy brushes. As you may see, I am sorting them into groups on the screen, and here's the thing. I figure out that all the brushes that have bristles coming right from the handle are good. Here comes these large brushes with white bristles. They should be made from bamboo, but I am not 100% sure. Another group are these smaller brushes with brown handle, and this is the type of the brush that is perfect. And it also should be made from bamboo. I'm not really sure what material was used for the bristles, but they are so good. Then there is this group which contains the brushes with falling bristles, and you will recognize that because of the black part on the handle. And I think that this is the problem, that the bristles aren't going right from the handle, but here is this extension which makes it of lower quality. It's really enough to just pull out lightly from the bristles. And you can see that I already pulled out some of them, and not only the bristles, but the whole part. Yeah, that may happen. So I don't like this group of brushes. On the other hand, they are very good if you need to clean your water jar. I am using these for cleaning my tools. Let me show you something more interesting, and these are the Acrylic brush pens by Art Magico. This is a local Czech brand, so I'm not really sure if they are available worldwide. Anyway, these are my first acrylic brush pens I ever had, and I already used them once. And the full narrated coloring video for this picture is on my Patreon. Honestly, they didn't excite me that much. From what I tried, they can be blended, but when I tried that, the tip got dirty and I hate dirty nips. But what should I expect from only 20 colors, right? On the other hand, the selection for such a small set is nice, but I just miss a lot of colors. I would definitely need to explore this whole area of acrylic art supplies more, but you know, I am a more watercolor girl. So my next item are the watercolor brush pens by Ohuhu. And these brush pens are really what I like to use. Actually, I always wanted to try watercolor brush pens. The only thing I really miss is that they are not marked. There are no color names or color numbers. So when I use them, I cannot really show you which exact colors I was using because I just don't know. I already painted 2 pictures with them. And I also did a first impression video, which is already on my channel, so you can check it out. And then there is a second painting or coloring with them, and the video will be uploaded on my channel very soon, so stay tuned. I also got these markers. These are water-based markers with dual tip, and they are meant to be used in a journal. So if you do journals, they should be really handy because they have these dual tips. So you have a brush pen and a fine liner. Unfortunately, I don't do journaling, but I wanted to use them for basing in the coloring books. However, I used them once and then never again. Hopefully it will change in the future. I think I just have so many art supplies that I'm just not able to use all of them. This next item or set of items has a story actually. Lately, I discovered a huge love for inks, and I mean water-based inks, of course. I'm not talking about the alcohol inks. And I started to paint with them instead of watercolors, and I was using just what I had at home. I already have some random brands. I have a lot of sparkling inks because I just love all the glitter things. I always purchased what was on sale. And I also have quite a nice collection of the distress inks. However, I have never thought about getting like the full range of colors. You know, I usually took just, as I said, what was on sale, or in case of distress inks, I was taking mainly what I thought that I would need at this moment. However, now when I am using them for painting and now I know how to mix my own colors, I thought that it would be nice to get some more variety of colors. And here is where the story continues and ends. So as I was looking for new inks, I decided that I will try this set of inks from Temu. They were really cheap, so I did the purchase, it arrived, everything was fine. I opened the package and I wanted to try them, but I noticed that one of the bottle had some kind of white chunks inside. And when I opened the bottle, the ink just didn't smell right. So I did a little bit of research. I didn't discover much. The liquid wasn't slimy and the chunks kind of dissolved when I shaked the bottle. I figured out with the help of the internet that this is not a mold, but I was still very concerned. Another two bottles had quite strange smell. I thought that the smell can be just some chemicals inside the ink. The rest of the bottles had only a slight smell. However, after a while of using them, I started to feel really sick. So I took a break. The next day I felt better, so I tried that again, and again I started to feel very sick. So I decided that there is no use for them, even though the colors were quite nice. So I contacted the support on Temu and they were really nice and really quick with solving the problem. They sent me my money back immediately, and important thing is that they promised that they will check out the quality of the other inks. So hopefully no more bad inks will be sold. Alright, next is a set of Chinese paint. Chinese paint is a little bit different from watercolors we know, mainly because they are meant to be used on rice paper, which is much thinner than, for example, the 100% cotton watercolor paper. That's why the material they are made of is different, and they also behave and look a little bit differently than regular watercolors. I already did a swatch chart. In this swatch, they look so beautiful. The application was very easy. However, when I used them in coloring book, it was like disaster. I was using them on the page in Space coloring book by Hannah Carlson on this mushroom page, and after a while of struggling, I had to use another watercolors on top of these. I should use them more properly on watercolor paper or on something more suitable for paint. The other thing is that I got them from Temu as well for very low price. So I'm not 100% sure if they are real. Also, the tubes are just plastic, so who knows? I will just have to try them more and just figure out whether they are workable or not. From paints to sketchbooks, here is my perfect sketchbook by Etcher. The sketchbook is called like that. It's called the perfect sketchbook. It's not something I would came up with. Anyway, I have to say that this is one of my favorite sketchbooks. The work with it is really easy, really great, and I can use all kinds of mediums. Well, I was using watercolors and inks only up to this date. Anyway, I know that with inks it's hard because they are so concentrated that they are bleeding through heavy papers as well. For example, I tried inks in Hanemule 100% cotton sketchbook, but this sketchbook has paper with only 250 GSM. I was using distress inks there and they were bleeding through, which is not the case in this sketchbook. Also, this is my first A4 sketchbook. When I started to paint, I started on small square sketchbook, but the more I paint, the bigger format I am taking. And I really figure out that painting on A4 or A3 format is much better than using the small format. Also, this sketchbook or the paper in this sketchbook can handle a huge amount of water. I love doing all sorts of landscapes, especially those moody, rainy mountain or forest landscapes. So to achieve this moody or misty effect, you really have to use a lot of water and a lot of layers. The only thing I noticed when I apply the first layer of water, then the page starts to curl up. But the more water I use and the more work I do on the paper, it will get back into the flat position. And when it's dry, it's also almost flat. If I compare it to my Hanemule sketchbook, I feel more secure with Etcher because of the amount of water and layers I can use. Although I have never had a problem with that in Hanemule sketchbook, sometimes I just feel that I go really hard on it. Switching from wet media to dry media and to coloring books, recently I discovered these soft oil pastels. And this is my first set ever, and I have to say that since this video was filmed, I already draw and colored few pictures with them, and I absolutely fell in love with oil pastels. There will be a drawing video where I draw 3 space themed pictures on one page, and there will also be the first impression video here on my channel. So definitely stay tuned. There will be a lot of information, a lot of my feelings about them. And I will also share some of the tricks I learned during the whole journey. So it will also be helpful. At this moment, I also have a few videos on my Patreon. So if you are interested in that, you can also check it out. And I got the set of 48 colors. I know that there is 120 colors in total, at least according to the booklet that was included. However, when I was purchasing this set, I didn't find the larger set. Also, I thought that 48 colors will be just enough. I was wrong. So I already purchased a set of 72 from different brand, and I would like to do a comparison video or something like that because I'm really curious how different brands work. And because today is Sunday, I should get them tomorrow. Yay! Anyway, to protect your colorings or drawings with the oil pastels, you need some varnish. And I have found this varnish for oil pastels by Royal Talents. I didn't want to use a spray, and I have to say that this varnish works really great. It's easy to apply and it makes a nice layer. However, it's important to leave it dry really properly, like for at least for 2 days. But that's normal for any varnish. Alright, so finally some coloring books, and here we go with A Nice Little Town, volume 3. And I got this book because I just love all the building illustrations. Also, this match the monthly color along themes on my Patreon. The second book is also by Tatiana, and it's Nice Little Dragons. And I just had to buy this book because it's so cute. Just look at all these dragons. The only thing, well, there are 2 things. The first thing is that every picture here is doubled, and the copy is right behind the first picture. I don't really like if the coloring book has the second copies, but that's okay. That's just the thing we have to live with. The second thing that frustrated me a little bit more is the quality of the print. If you look closer on illustrations in both books, you will see that they are pixelated. I don't know if I had just bad luck on both books. There are 2 formats of Tatiana's books, and these 2 are in a bigger format. I already have one of her book in the smaller format, and the print there is pretty good. It's really okay. So I have a suspicion that the problem is the format of the book. However, it will not stop me from coloring in these books because they are cute and beautiful, and I can't wait to try them. Yeah, I just need to find some time for it. The next coloring book is Fantastic World by Alessandra Fussi. I get this book because I like all the mythographic coloring books. So yeah, this was kind of a must. I'm not sure now who told me about it. It was during my live stream, so thank you for letting me know about this book. And I have to say that this book is quite intimidating for me. I'm not afraid of coloring in any Kirby's coloring book, but this is something totally different. All the pictures except the first and the last one are double-sided, and the illustrations are quite detailed. And I just see the struggle finishing them. But as I always say to you, throw your worries behind your back and just go for it. So yeah, I think I will follow my own advice and I will go for it. Also, I challenged myself in the previous video about my top 10 +1 coloring books. And I challenged myself that I will color at least one picture from this book until the end of this year. And I'm ready to achieve that. The last coloring book I have for this video is the Valentino, which is A Shooting Star by Maria Trolle. This is my first book ever by Maria Trolle. I have never colored anything by her, and I think after watching some flip-throughs of her previous books that this one is her best. Also, there will be a new one soon. Anyway, for now, you may see that this coloring book is empty. However, since I filmed this video, I already colored 4 pictures. One of them is already on my channel. The second will be a part of the first impression of the oil pastels video, and 2 of them are already on my Patreon as color along videos. Alright, that's all for today's haul. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you are interested which coloring books are between my top 10 +1, then check out the video that just showed up on the screen. Have a meowsome day and see you in the next video. Bye bye!